Welcome back, ladies, gents, and everybody in between to the Band of Misfits podcast, the showcase of controlled chaos we call our friendship. But it's nice to hear my voice again after last week. So,
I guess we'll go back. Wolf doesn't have to cut so much out of the podcast because names were sad.
The fucking minute you leave, all hell breaks loose.
Every time, it's either we go way off topic and talk about whatever we think, or we say people's names 50 times. I swear to God, I had to cut an entire, there was a time where people just kept saying people's names back to back. I had to cut an entire minute out at one point because, 5 names were said in that minute. And then another time, I had to cut out, 30 to 40 seconds because, 3 names were said. I'm like, Panda, never leave us again.
Oh my God.
Every time you leave, this podcast goes...
Oh my God. Okay, so...
Sometimes it's fun chaos, sometimes it's just chaos.
Most time it's painful chaos towards Wolf.
It was so painful. I edit this.
I'll suck it up.
No!
You signed up for this.
Oh.
You're the one that was like, oh, hey, let's start a podcast.
It'd be easy.
Oh my God. You're the one.
You're the one that was pushing for it.
No, I said if we start one, I can do all the editing and stuff. And y'all were like, okay, well, let's do one. I was like, cool, sure.
So you signed up for it.
Well, I say we all take a break this week and chill out. So, with all the unrest going on today and everything that's going on in our personal lives, we made the decision to just do a chill one and not be so structured. So we are going to I think we're just going to chat. I'll start. So, as I've said before on here, I work at a grocery store, as the Shota, and the same grocery store, today, first of all, there were a couple of people without masks on, which always makes me super uncomfortable. It's like, when always the people that have masks on that love to get up in your personal space. And I don't know if this is a universal thing for customer service workers or if it just happens to me, but
I'll tell you.
So yeah, they're just laughing, they're up in my face. And honestly, I didn't say much because I was supremely uncomfortable. These women just didn't have their masks. They were up in my business. And I wanted to just be like, hey, my parents are immunocompromised. I'd appreciate if you backed up. I really wanted to say that.
You should have, but you would have gotten in trouble with your job, wouldn't you?
I know. That's the only reason I didn't, to be honest.
Problems with having a boss.
Oh, well.
Says the unemployed.
I have a job once I go back. Thank you very much. And
I'm
unemployed too, so I'm taking it out. I'm burning myself with this statement.
And
unemployed is insulting an unemployed.
it becomes even more of a complication if your friend is your boss, or at least is above you.
Right. My boss really likes me, is the thing, so I might be able to get away with it, but still.
So
I don't want to get the store. I don't want to get the store in trouble.
True,
but anyway, this woman came in. She didn't speak a word of English, which is normally not a problem. Also, she was wearing a mask, along with her little one, too. So, normally it's not an issue for me if someone doesn't speak English. They normally do their thing and communicate however they need to if they need something. And we just go our separate ways after that. It's really not that big of an issue. The only reason it was such a big issue that she couldn't tell me everything that she needed to do is because she paid entirely in coins.
I mean, I've done that a couple times, to be honest.
Entirely.
But it was almost $20. It was almost $20.
If it's almost $20 at that point, you might as well just use cash. Just make
If
it
it was
easier
all
on
I
the
had.
poor person that has to.
Or you
Okay.
could go to the coin store.
Okay, to be fair, I went to a place that doesn't have that, and I already had the coins rolled up into like the coin slots.
That would have been different. You know, if they were rolled up, it probably wouldn't have been a big deal. But they were in plastic baggies.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so I had to sit there. She had written it down, but one of her counts was a little bit off, so I double checked the rest of them, which were right on. But she had a bag of supposedly 200 pennies, and I was not going to count that.
Wait, what
Dude,
did
I
you
don't
do
think
with the
anybody
bag?
would hand count.
So I just
200
threw them
pennies.
away.
I mean, I would have to because.
Wait, you
my
threw
dog.
away 200 pennies?
No, I put the coins in the register and threw away the bag.
So, like, how did you fit 200 pennies into the one slot in the register?
It was very difficult. But I got
Determination.
You'd be surprised-
Determination.
you would be surprised how many coins can fit in those.
And pennies are smaller than you think, is the thing. So
That's true.
I
it
understand
wasn't
the
that
signs.
difficult. Forgive me, I'm also emailing my cooperating teacher because I'm starting my student teaching.
I'll say if you
But
hear
yes.
noises in the background, yeah, she's emailing.
That
her
was an
cooperating teacher.
adventure.
Will's just messing around on his Xbox doing updates, maintenance, and stuff.
I need to get a memory card for my Xbox.
Yes, you do. You're gonna want a big one if you're getting certain games. They're very big, depending on
Right.
the games you get.
Yeah.
My brother gave me his Minecraft, and I'm realizing I don't know if I like the version.
Oh, that sucks.
Right. What about you, Shota? How have things been at your store?
I mean, honestly, the same. People not wearing masks. Yesterday it wasn't so crazy, but it did get really busy towards the end, and like the closer said, "Do what you want." It's like, okay, see ya.
Right.
Because I was there. I was there. I was there since 10 o'clock in the morning, and I got off work at 6. So it was time for me to get the hell out of there.
Right.
Shota just went, nope. Goodbye.
I mean, she gave me the choice.
That's
I said,
fair. She
okay.
did give you the choice.
Like, okay,
Mhm.
see ya. Have fun. Because like there was a lot of, it was like a big group. Some without, some with. I see that, Muse.
Some of us have cameras on, people. I would turn mine on, but I'm afraid it's going to interfere. Discord's been a
No.
little touch and go lately. So
No,
I'm not
That
turning
means
my
you're
camera.
on yours, Shioda. That means you're on yours.
What are you guys doing?
Nothing.
Oh, nothing.
Are you guys on your Nintendo Switches?
No.
I mean, no, duh.
Are you playing
Hey,
Pokemon
y'all-
Muse?
No.
She totally is.
You're
I'm
not
sorry.
what?
I was doing something professional. Okay. I was
Okay.
emailing someone.
Panda's doing something professional. Wolf's doing maintenance that needs to be done to his Xbox. And y'all are playing, and you're both playing on your Switches.
Hey,
I'm sorry. I'm trying to defeat a gym. Thank you very much.
Yep.
and I have the day off. Leave me alone.
Fair. I gotta go back to the dentist in a couple weeks and get a filling and do my back molars. Like that little tiny pinprick. Nothing serious, but they want to get it taken care of early, now that they've caught it.
Oh,
But-
yeah. Dude, I went to the dentist today, and they said the exact same thing to me. They were like, yeah, there's just this
Back
tiny-
molars.
Nope, not for back molars. It was like my number 5 canine or something. They were like, yeah, it's just this.
On the
They're
inside?
like, yeah, they're like, there's just this one spot where we're just a little concerned, and it just needs, a tiny little touch.
I mean, it just like, most people are going to get a filling or two at some point in their life. It's no big deal. But that's... But Man, Muse and I can talk about dental work. I'm sure. I've had a lot of work done on my mouth, nothing filling related since I was a kid. So this will be the first couple fillings I've gotten. It'll only take an hour. They're really small, like I said, and we just fill them up really quick. But anyway, when I was born without three of my teeth. I don't know before, but I had. For that reason, I have two crowns over two baby teeth that are still there that are bonded together. Thankfully, have never fallen out. Eventually, they might fall out, and I might need to get implants, which is what my other canine is fake. It's not real. So I had to have jaw replacement surgery because I was born without a bone there, and it was pretty intensive. I remember being in recovery for a couple of months after that. Pretty rough, but totally worth it. Unfortunately, the insurance wouldn't cover it. Which was very gracious, but God, it sucked. Ugh.
Yeah.
How about you, Muse?
Don't you love insurance?
Yeah, love insurance. They said it was for aesthetic purposes, even though I had a slur because of the way it was.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, when I went and got my shoulder surgery, which if I hadn't gotten it within the next few years, I would have basically been unable to use my right arm.
Yeah.
They were like, that's an elective surgery. I was like, are you joking? I was
That's
like,
so dumb.
I am in pain daily. My arm goes numb. The doctor point blank said that I needed to get this done, and you're claiming it's elective. Are you joking? And they're like, yeah, it's elective. I was like, you
That's
know
so
what?
stupid.
Yeah, I had to literally go on a phone call with them for like
American insurance, ladies and gents.
Yeah, American
Here we
insurance,
go.
ladies and gents, it sucks. I had to go on a phone with them for like a good 30 minutes to convince them that this was not an elective surgery, that this was in fact a surgery I needed to get. And they still were like, well, I guess it's wouldn't be technically counted as elective, I guess. I was like, what do you mean you guess?
Should I talk about the two ladies that were borderline racist towards me at work?
Please
Yes.
call them out.
So, yesterday there was two ladies. The first one I was doing a carry-out for. So while I was putting away her groceries into her car, she asked when I celebrated New Year's. Cause I don't know if you've mentioned this, but I am of Asian descent, and I guess she thought I was Chinese. It was intended to be good. It was intended to be like not ill-willed, but still.
Very presumptuous.
Yeah.
Very presumptuous.
Then I just kind of stared at her and I replied, maybe in kind of a blunt tone, I celebrated New Year's 5 days ago, man.
Dude, I would have replied the same thing. Like, what the heck?
I mean, the way that people are just like anti-Asian racism has a very specific flavor to it. I've noticed in this country in particular.
I mean, also especially ever since COVID started.
Yeah, especially since COVID started. Yeah, it's been really bad.
Oh yeah.
I mean, God.
It's
thankfully, I haven't encountered that.
Thankfully, nothing serious.
But I'm also the only person of Asian descent in customer service.
Oh man, God, I don't think we even have any Asian folks at my store. Not that I know of. I might not have. But
then the lady after that, it was I want to say a few hours later because I took my break. Then I had to cover the self checkout line.
Right.
And this lady was struggling to she scanned the green onions and it didn't scan.
Right.
So I helped the lady. I punched in the code for the green onions, and like she said, "Thank you" the first time. Then when she was done, she turned to me and said, "Arigato." Like, I too.
That's Japanese, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Oh my god.
I have experienced some racist comments in the past. Like that one time when that guy said I should learn more about this nation's currency.
That pissed me off so bad when you told us about that.
I just kind of smiled.
I was born here, or I don't know if you were. I think you were born here.
I was not.
You were not born here, but you were raised here.
I'll say you should ask that guy about different questions that all Americans quote unquote should know. I'll say, have you seen the immigration tests and stuff? I had a professor give us the immigration test, and literally every person in our class failed it. And he was
Yeah,
like,
if you're not
"Congratulations,
super
none of
into
your-"
US, if you're not super into US civics and stuff like that, I doubt you'd be able to pass it. Like, I
I'll
did
say
fine on
so.
it just because I'm obsessed with stuff like that. It's not anyone's, but like,
Dude, I'm
so-
a history minor, not U.S. history. I'm a history minor, and even I
Right.
couldn't answer all the questions. I was like, this is stupid.
It is dumb for sure. But
yeah, that's what
regardless, like,
pisses me off when I hear about things that you're experiencing at work, Shioda, because I'm just like, I bet these morons couldn't even do half of that stuff. Like, what are they trying to say?
But the one thing that amused me was at the beginning of my shift. So I woke at the same store as Alien. So we were me, her, and another bagel were talking, and apparently I'm the one that I'm the customer service clerk. I'm the sassy one. The one who just, instead of telling you to go back to the register, I just roast them.
I mean,
Like,
that is you, dude.
yeah, I'm like, hey, I enjoy a good get together as much as you do, but back to your register.
I mean, if you get a job, you need to do your job, so.
And my little job is to get people back on their flipping registers. But there's this one girl. Like she likes to wander, and since COVID started, we've started washing down the carts. And like the way my store is set up, like the carts are really close to the customer service desk. So sometimes she wanders over there, and like I'm looking at the break sheet, and when I see her in the corner of my eye, I just lift my hand and snap it towards the direction of the carts, and she just turns around and walks back.
I mean, you're doing your job. You do your
Right.
job. Your job is to tell these people to go do their jobs.
Yeah, I've gotten to the point where like, and this is with another goal. I've gotten to the point that just my very presence tells them get back to work. Like I just
Get back to work.
I just like walk up there and just stare at them. I'm like, okay, I'm going back.
Don't be mad at me. I'm going back to work. I swear.
Yeah, the fact that these guys always sit on their phones when they're in charge of watching the door makes me so frustrated. I'm like, get off your phone!
It's like, do your job. Your job is to watch the door. Watch the door.
I mean, my store has like, we got them to get this like counting app that like, you have to count how many people come in and out of the store.
Right.
But people
Which is good. You should have that.
There were a couple of customer service folks that have that. Yeah, at my store as well.
I'm not surprised there are people who don't use it though. No.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh, there are always those people who are like, oh, I don't need to use it. Ugh. And it's just like,
Yeah.
idiot.
there's this guy that works there that I went to high school with, and we're okay now, but we were not the best in middle school. It was better in high school. And he went to break, and I hear my customer service manager go, make sure he doesn't go over, and if not, we're gonna take it out of his lunch. And I was like, does this happen that often? That he goes over on his break?
Oh yeah, that was.
People used to do that at my old job. They would like they would be like, hey, I'm gonna go take a break, and I'm gonna take a 30-minute lunch break, and they wouldn't clock out.
There was this one time when like I didn't entirely trust this cashier to come back after 15 minutes are done. So I like when he clocked out, I set a time on my phone and just like casually glance down every once in a while. And the other customer service clerk that I will go up to him and was like, I'm totally not timing how long X is on his break. Nope, that would be silly. And he just burst out laughing.
I mean, there are people that you have to do that with.
Right. I
Oh.
I always make sure to. I don't know. I'm so used to keeping track of how long. I don't get lunch breaks very often because normally I only work 6 hours. But I'm so used to just keeping track of what time I have to be down there that I'm just not. Most of the time they're like, fine, all right. Oh, look, Panda's back, and I'm so used to timing myself that they're like, oh, look, Panda's back, and because every time I go to my break, I come back, and there's a line of 4 people per register that is open every time I leave. Then I come back, and then I have to disperse the crowd. So that's
Dude, I didn't even get lunch breaks on my old job. They're like, okay, so I used to be a summer camp counselor, and they were like, just eat your lunch when the kids are eating their lunch. I'm like, kids have 30 minutes to eat their lunch. I still have to do my job, which is watching 12 kids.
the kids, right? That's not a break.
Like,
I know. I used to do that too.
I have time to eat my lunch and watch these kids.
Right.
They're going to run around and be crazy and aren't going to sit there.
Right. I used to do the same thing that you did, Wolf, and you know that. I had that awful job. And I never had a break. I lost, and this is a lot for me. I lost like 7 pounds or something that summer because I couldn't eat and I was getting constantly sick from anxiety.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I had to I carried snacks on me throughout the day. And whenever I went to an activity,
legally, that's not a break.
It's not, no. And I was told sometimes that somebody would come and relieve me, so I would have a 30-minute break. Never got a break. Worked there 3 years, never got a break.
Yeah.
Even when I was told I was supposed to get a break, never got a break.
Yeah, no, because like when you're sitting down to eat, like I couldn't even take a minute to look at my phone or anything. I just had to watch the kids the whole time, which is not a break.
So you're still doing your job, and yeah, if you know kids, they're not gonna sit there and let you eat your lunch and stuff. They're gonna run around and then get hurt and make you go take them to the office or to the nurse or something. Somebody's gonna punch someone, which happened a lot. Somebody's gonna get hurt. Someone's gonna get stung by a bee. You're gonna have to go to the nurse. You're gonna have to go to the office. You're gonna have to run around. And by the time you get back, lunch is over and you're going to the next thing.
Right. We took the kids to Tweetsea, which is up in the Appalachian Mountain, up near Appalachian State, if you're not familiar with the state. And it was a fun day. It went really well overall. Can I just say, we also went to a disastrous trip to a mall aquarium. And I've told this story a couple of times to them, but like, I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast.
I don't recognize this.
I don't know if you recall it. So, preach! Anyway, we went to this small aquarium. So I knew we were going to take the kids to the aquarium for the day, which I thought was going to be fun. I thought it was going to be one of those. I thought it was going to be the bigger aquarium, which was more open and the kids could
not that
wander
mall
around.
aquarium. Oh, I know which one.
But instead we went to a mall in Charlotte. I can't remember where it was. It was somewhere like on the south side of Charlotte, like really small, like dinky little mall. It was not great. And there was this really tiny little aquarium in there, and it was pitch black, mind you, absolutely pitch black darkness through the entire aquarium. And for context, I was working with children with disabilities, and most of them had autism. The vast majority had some form of autism. Which, if you know anything about people with any form of autism, one of the biggest triggers for sensory overload is pitch black darkness with tons of flashing lights going on in the darkness, which is exactly what the aquarium was. I don't know. It was sensory overload just throughout the entire thing. So, of course, it was a complete mess, absolute disaster. And we were doing our best to keep track of everyone. I managed to keep track of my kids, thank God. But it was horrible. We got out of there, and also for context, the whole time I was in horrible pain. I was in unimaginable pain, and I didn't know why. Right? It was horrible. And I had to stop every couple of minutes, try and keep from bursting into tears from how much pain I was in. And I don't know why I didn't know why at the time I was in so much pain. I'll tell you in a minute why I was. And I got out. I was literally sweating. I ran to the bathroom. I just I don't know if it was food poisoning or what, but I vomited. And I just basically exploded in that bathroom. It was horrible. Right? And I went out. I was sweating. I was on the verge of tears, right? Because I was just so distressed. And one of the little boys, and he was so well behaved. I felt so bad, right? He was I know we're not supposed to pick favorites, but he really was one of my favorites, right? I was very attached to this little boy, right?
I mean,
he really had favorites too.
Of course,
parents say the same thing, yet we all know they still do.
So I felt bad, but when you're an instructor and you're close with the kids, you work with some more than others. And he was normally in my group and was very touched. He was very well behaved. He was very sweet. And he really had to go to the bathroom. And I didn't think we were allowed to go back into the aquarium after we had exited because that's what the sign said, right? So, and I couldn't find a bathroom outside of the mall. So my boss got pissed at me and told me to just go back into the aquarium, which I didn't think I was allowed to do, but I took him anyway. And he went, and then we went home. We all got chewed out by our boss that day, because she was with us. And, she was calling me out in this really passive-aggressive way. She was like, if a kid has to go to the bathroom, take him to the bathroom. And she wouldn't say who she was talking about, but it was quite obvious she was talking about me, right? Mm-hmm. Which is the most passive-aggressive thing to do possible, right? And I just said, listen, I'm really sorry, but I was confused and I was trying to figure out where he was supposed to go. And then she just screamed at me in front of my coworkers how I wasn't trying and that I called myself out, so she was going to call me out. And I was like, what do you mean? You were literally just describing to them what I was having trouble with without saying my name. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I was like, everybody knew it was you anyway, so it's
and I'm like, what do you mean?
You're calling Panda out.
You're calling me out in front of them, and then you scream at me in front of my coworkers for no reason. I held it together for 20 extra minutes before we took the kids to an outdoor fountain thing, and then I burst into tears. And my direct supervisor let me go home. She sat with me for a minute and was just I think she felt really bad, but there was nothing she could have done about it. So I went home, still miserable, mind you. I came into work the next day. There was a rule at this place too, that they said they would blacklist you if you quit. So, which they literally can't do. But, it scared the crap out of a lot of those people that I worked with because they wanted to be therapists and stuff, physical therapists and whatnot for the county. and they were worried if they quit the job in the middle of it, they wouldn't be able to get a job. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it was horrible. She took me outside and told me how I was mean and how like I was super passive aggressive for saying I'm sorry the day before. And how I had told this one little boy to not walk on the fence because I didn't want him to get a splinter or to fall off and hurt himself. And suddenly I was keeping a kid from being a kid, even though not even 20 minutes later.
Safe.
Not even 20 minutes later, she went up to a kid and yanked him out of a janitor's bucket. Isn't that something kids do? I don't know. So, like, I felt I was completely degraded and never went back to that job again. So.
Dude, that's like at my job, they're like, don't let the kids climb trees. At the same time, the kids are like, this is, being a kid. And the parents are like, oh, let them climb trees. This is them being kids. Well, we had a kid
We can't let them climb the tree.
We can't let them climb the tree for a reason. We had a kid follow the tree,
right.
break their arm. And the counselor was like, I was like, you weren't paying attention to the kid? Literally, I was like, I leave for 5 minutes to drop kids off we had 3 different drop-off times for when parents could come pick their kids up. I'm like, I leave for 5 minutes. And a kid falls out of the tree and breaks his arm. Are you joking?
Oh my God.
I was like, I had literally told you, don't let that kid, because it was one kid, I was like, don't let him climb a tree. Keep an eye on him. I was like, how did you not notice he was climbing a tree? Well, I don't know. There's so many kids around me. I'm like, this is our job! Not only that, there's 2 other counselors there with their kids, too. And they were all, it's because they were all the counselors just sitting in a circle talking to each other instead of paying attention to the kid. It's just like, are you joking? I was like, they were like, you shouldn't have left it. Shouldn't have left. I was like, I was doing my job. You weren't doing your job.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Y'all, I don't know. For those of you that work in like state-sanctioned childcare or like childcare specific to children with disabilities, I don't know how y'all do it because you guys get treated like crap. And I have so much respect for you.
Dude, at our summer camp, kids with disabilities and stuff are welcome to go in, but they're put in normal groups, and counselors aren't given heads up about it.
Right.
I had a kid,
and it's not the kid's fault. It's not the kid's fault at all.
We should be informed of it. I will say there's one thing I don't like is parents. There are some medications that children should not be taken off of for very good reasons.
And that's very true.
Some kids, unfortunately, are violent, and we had some kids that were violent, and during the school year they were fine because they were on their medication, but the parents were like, no, during the summer we want to take them off the medication.
Right.
I was like, there was this one kid that we had once, and I was like, he can't be taken off his medication. Why are you still allowing him to come here? Because he's physically violent.
Right.
I was like, he's a threat. And they're like, he's not a threat. Later that day, he kicked a girl in the face and punched another kid. The girl who got kicked in the face got kicked hard enough that she got a black eye.
Oh my God.
And then I had to take the kid across the entire building from one side of the building to the other. And he's kicking me and punching me and screaming and stuff. And I'm having to carry him and like physically restrain him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not even, not even his fault, really.
No, and then there's a neighborhood that's behind the summer camp. There's a neighborhood. And for some stupid reason, there's no fence to block the kids from going into the neighborhood.
Oh, Christ.
So the kid was acting up. He was starting to threaten to hurt people again. So I went to the office to go and tell someone because they were like, hey, if this kid does it again, come tell us. Because apparently kicking a girl in the face and giving her a black eye and
isn't enough, right?
And punching another kid and hitting and kicking me to the point where I had bruises on me all over my body wasn't enough. He was allowed back the next day, for some stupid reason. But yeah, so I'm coming back and I have a counselor sprinting towards me and she's like, yeah, he's wandering into the neighborhood. I'm like, you didn't try to stop him? Why did you come tell me? Stop him. I was like, why did you come tell me? Well, he's your kid. I'm like, You're a counselor. You're supposed to stop him. And I went
God.
over, so I sprinted into the neighborhood. Thankfully, he hadn't gone far. There's a cul-de-sac that's the closest to
All right.
where our area
Yeah.
is. And he
Yeah.
was just in the cul-de-sac. He was like, I'm going home. I'm like, dude, you live in Mooresville. You're not going to get to Mooresville from here.
Right.
I was like, that's far.
Yeah, and
And-
that's the thing, you know, a lot of kids like with autism or oppositional defiant disorder don't like have that comprehension of distance is the thing.
Yeah, to him, he thought he could just wander the neighborhood and his house would be there. And
Yeah,
I was
and-
like, you can't.
Thankfully, it was just the neighborhood, but it's
I know, dude,
dangerous.
was
I had a
terrified he had gone further into the neighborhood. I will
right,
say, though,
and we wouldn't be able to find him. Right.
when I went to go get him, he picked up a chunk of concrete and threatened to bash my head in with it.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I've said that to the office. I was like, you can't let him come back. Like, I'm sorry. He's a threat to campers. He's a threat to counselors. And I think
that point,
they
it's too
told the
dangerous.
parents. I think they told the parents like he can't come back unless he's on his medication. And I never saw him again. So
Well, it's just I understand for parents if you're a parent of a child with any form of disability that causes to lash out. I understand that it's a very difficult situation. Constantly pump your kids full of drugs. I know that, okay, and I understand why you don't want to constantly get full of drugs. Really, I do.
but if they're a
I do.
physical threat to other people, if they have a history of violence when taking off those meds, if they get physically violent with other people, and you decide you're going to put them in a summer camp with other kids from age kindergarten to 5th grade, and that child is going to be surrounded by all these kids, and they're off their meds, any little thing can set them off. Like him, he didn't I think he wanted a ham sandwich for lunch, and his mom packed him turkey, and that set him off.
Right.
And it led to all of that snowball effect. I was like, any little thing can,
Yeah.
set those kids off, unfortunately, and it's just not safe. And it's not fair.
It's scary, and working with kids is always scary in general, but and I say this that it is I think people underestimate how much extra work people who work with kids with disabilities in these camps go through, not because of the kids, but because the county and I went through a county run. All right. Mm-hmm. I was in one of the worst parts of our part of the state, and it was like not great. And I loved so many of those kids. I grew very close to them.
Say, there were great kids at that place.
There was this one boy, and it was not entirely his fault, but God, he was kind of violent, and he had this tendency to run off. That was his big thing. He'd run off, and that was really scary because we had this big patch of woods close to the camp, and if I don't know if he was gonna drown or get caught in something, so I had to grab him, and he was really strong. First of all,
yeah, some kids are very strong, and also there's only so much we're allowed to do to physically restrain the kid because our job point blank says we're not supposed to. I don't know how it is for you, but my job was you cannot lay your hands on a child, even to restrain them.
We did what we had to do. That was our thing. There were times when I had to restrain it, is the thing. And I had to restrain a couple of times.
Also, there were times I had to restrain kids too.
And I know you had a private, you were at a private place, so it was a little bit different. But I was at a county run facility, so it was a little bit different.
I'll say I would not, if y'all, those of you wanting to be a summer camp person, don't. Or at least go into it knowing what you're doing.
And county run facility. So we had he tried to run out the door. He almost broke my nose. He punched me in the face really hard. And because I stopped him from running out the door. And I was like, buddy, you can't go out. And he punched me in phase. And I restrained him and made him do his breathing exercises because like he was really agitated and I had to leave. I was shaking. I'm not gonna lie, I was mad. And like, so I had to leave. I had to write another report. And like, I don't know, it was just really scary because I didn't want him to run off himself. Do you know what I mean? And nothing was ever done. That's the thing. Nothing was ever done to help kids that clearly needed help or extra attention. They were just thrown right back in to the same environment.
I wish they had created a separate group that was oriented to help those kids who needed the help, but they just stuck them in random groups in the camp and, oh, well, there's nothing we can do to help them. That's just how they are.
Right. And like, it wasn't entirely his fault. And there was this one boy, he was bigger than, he was really big. And they expected me to be able to just get him when he ran off. And I was like, he's twice my size. What do you want me to do about it? So I sent my friend Austin, was very, very large. He was very large. And, like he was 6'4" and like a really beefy guy. So I was like, I'm gonna let him do it because I literally can't kid. Right? So I was like, what am I supposed to do? And my boss was she was awful. She didn't like me I think she just like, and she didn't like a lot of people. She targeted this other woman who was like a direct supervisor for a different group and she ended up quitting. If I remember right, because of how badly she.
I don't blame her.
I don't blame her. It's like horrible. And, she's in one of those positions where like they can't get rid of her. So
yeah, I used to have super nice bosses and then they left. And
right.
So then I was, I don't want to say stuck with bad bosses, but the people that came after them were not as good as them.
Right. And it's really not a kid issue. Okay? I don't want anyone to think that like I think that kids with autism or anything like that because I don't think that they are.
No, it's not the kid issue.
Especially, it is the adults that don't know how to provide the proper environment and the proper tools for everyone. I was 19 or 18 when I took that job. They hired me right on the spot, by the way, like, which is insane. I didn't have to put in a resume or anything. Like, they just hired me. Yeah. I did a drug test and a background check, and that was it.
That's odd.
Yeah, they hired, and it was a lot of us that were like that on the spot.
For that job, you think they would want to do a background check?
Yeah, we did a background check. They did a background check
or
and drug
resumes
test.
And stuff. And
yeah, but like I had no experience with anything of that nature. First of all, the job was misadvertised. Well, like I didn't know it was going to be just that. They randomly placed me an hour and a half away from where I live, which was a really rough drive. And
did you really have to drive an hour and a half to work?
Almost, yeah.
Why? I would have been like, no.
There was a camp much closer to where I am in the state that they decided not to place me at for some dumb reason. And so I came, plus I was taking classes, by the way. So, you know. So I had to get up at 6 a.m., no, 5:30, and go to work. And then I wouldn't get home at 7 o'clock just because I got off. It was rough. So I got like almost zero sleep, and it was horrible. And, you know, the whole point of this spiel is that, like, you shouldn't take a job. Don't let jobs abuse you just because. Don't let jobs. That's all I'm going to say.
Also like, know what you're getting into.
Yeah. Also, like, I can't believe that they didn't tell me the full extent of what I was getting into before I did. First of all. It was horrible. Then the fact that they hired me right on the spot, that's crazy. I don't know. The only other job I've ever had that hired me right on the spot is the job I currently have. But I knew what I was getting into, and it was because I interviewed really well. So
I'm wondering the same thing about me because like I started off as a cashier. I didn't immediately jump to customer service.
right.
So I'm sometimes I do wonder, like, I wonder why. I mean, I'm happy that I was hired. I'm happy I'm getting paid X amount of an hour, but I still wonder, like that paranoid part of my mind just wonders, why was I
Dude,
hired? Why was
honestly,
I trying?
I probably would have worked at the place where you're working at currently if my college, we don't have that. Because my college is in the middle of nowhere. We don't have it.
Right, you have nothing.
I have
Pretty sure all you
nothing.
guys got is a Walmart.
We have a Walmart.
And that's a ways
That
off.
is what we have.
I mean, you could.
You have a Chili's on campus, though.
Yeah, but
Okay.
That's pretty dope.
I
is it?
mean,
I like Chili's.
At least you have name brand restaurants on your
We
campus.
have a
We
McAllister's.
nothing.
We also have a
It's
Chick-fil-A
pretty nice.
on my campus. Chick-fil-A is nice.
We have a
Chick-fil-A
Chick-fil-A on my
always
campus.
busy.
Lucky.
Chick-fil-A
I personally
actually got
don't eat
moved
it.
to another building because it was always so busy. They needed to move to a bigger building.
I personally don't eat at Chick-fil-A out of personal principles, but I understand. But we do have a small Chick-fil-A. We have a large McAllister's that's constantly busy. We had to shut that one down because it got so busy over the pandemic because of
Oh yeah, they had to for the Chick-fil-A
during the pandemic. It got really busy because tons of people were getting takeout from there. At my college, I don't know if y'all's colleges did this, but we have a lot of food trucks in at Appalachian. Is that in around that area?
We have a food
And-
truck at my college.
Wish.
Yeah.
I wish.
But there was a we have a couple, and there's a coffee truck that comes up. And they had pretty good fraps and stuff, and then there's this place called the Cardinal Burger in Boone. If you're from Boone, it's up. Like everyone knows where App State is. And their chicken sandwiches were bomb, but they made me gain 4 pounds, and I lost that again. Was worth it though.
Dude, that's the only thing about being in the middle of nowhere is we really like. So we have the basic fast food places, and that's it. And we don't even have all the basic fast food places. Like we have. I think the only basic ones we have Cookout, we have Wendy's, and we have a Dunkin' Donuts.
I gotta be honest, Wendy's is weak sauce. I'm not a fan of Wendy's.
yeah,
They're better than McDonald's.
I think we have
I disagree.
Hardee's.
I
Oh
don't.
god.
I think we have a Hardee's as well.
yeah,
Wendy's fries are absolutely weak compared to McDonald's.
Wendy-
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'd rather have
McDonald's sucks. And
Look, I didn't.
Wendy's fries.
You guys just hate on
are
McDonald's
salty
because
as
it's the
hell.
easy thing to do. That is what it is.
No,
it's the same reason
that's
people are like,
nasty.
I don't like pineapple on pizza. Why? Because you've never had it before, Adam.
No, I will.
Hey,
I love
Hawaiian pizza is my favorite pizza. Thank you very much.
Right, exactly. Don't
Yeah,
hate
no,
on
I
it.
will actually back you up on this. I used to love, like,
I'm not saying it's amazing or anything like that. I'm not gonna you know what I mean? But,
I used to tolerate Wendy's, but recently I've been
Honestly,
It's
I
too
only go to
much
Wendy's when
beef.
I want a Frosty.
The only good thing about Wendy's
Go
is
somewhere that has a better dessert.
the only good thing about Wendy's
What has a better
is
dessert?
The only good thing about Wendy's is what?
the only good thing about Wendy's is its Twitter account.
I like their Frosties.
Yeah.
I like
Their Twitter
Frosties.
account is great though.
Miz, what was it that you just said? I missed it.
Cookout
Okay.
has better desserts.
Frosties is weak sauce compared to any fast. Like, come on.
The Cookout
Oh my
Come on.
where my
Frosties
college is tiny. The cars go around the building twice. I'm not waiting in line. If I want
Well,
a Frosty, I'm either going to go to Dairy Queen at the gas station or this. And the Dairy Queen at the gas station, their Blizzard machine, their ice cream machine is constantly breaking for some stupid reason. And they're Dairy Queen. It's not supposed to break.
Okay, y'all are complaining about all this. At least you have fast food, like, on campus. We have nothing. All of ours is like, let's be super economic friendly, plant-based, all this natural hippie restaurants. Like, we have nothing name
Look at
brand.
where your college is, though. That shouldn't be a shock.
Well, I get
I'm
it, but
saying,
like,
look
you
where
would
your
think we
college
get more.
is.
But you would think we get at least one name brand. Not a single thing is name brand. It's all because we have a food contract with this horrible company.
Dude, I don't
And
even
so-
really get name brand where I am.
At least you have something. We have to travel
Chili's
10
is
miles
not
down the
bad.
road.
I want to defend Chili's. I know it's like white people's spicy,
Okay, honestly,
but I still
I'm
like
for
Chili's.
Chili's. I'm for
I haven't been
Chili's.
to Chili's in ages.
I think it's been 6 years for me.
It's been a long
I
time
don't
since
even
I've been
remember.
to
Every time
Chili's.
I've gone,
Chili's.
okay, my only thing about Chili's is every time I've gone to Chili's, and I'm not joking, they've messed up my order. I'm not
Which
joking.
one have you gone?
Every
Have you
single
gone to the
time
one near you?
I've gone, yes, that one messes up my order every single time.
Which
Oh
one?
god, yeah, no.
Which one?
The one,
The one right down the road from
near
where I live. It
right
messes
near
up
the
my order.
Longhorn.
It always, my family, the rest of my
Is that
family
the one by
orders
the Duckworths?
always right, but yes.
Near it.
Really? That one's never messed up my order before.
It messes. I'm not joking. Every single time I've ordered from it, whether I sit there, go in and dine in, or I get takeout, it always messes up my order. Rest of my family doesn't. Their orders are correct. My order always screwed up. I'm
Okay,
not
how
joking.
complicated is yours? How
It's
complicated
not
is your order?
complicated. I usually get the spicy shrimp tacos with chips and salsa, and they mess it up every single time.
Okay, that's
It's
not.
complicated. Every single time one time they gave me the completely wrong meal. I'm like, this
Carrabba's
isn't
once forgot
mine.
my meal. Carrabba's didn't put my meal in our order once.
Oh, I got
Like-
it from Carrabba's.
I've
I
never
was
gotten
pissed.
anything from Carrabba's.
Don't.
It's fine. My sister used to work there. I don't know if she still does. Also, I don't talk to my sister anymore, but that doesn't really matter. So don't want to get into that. She's like a conspiracy theorist, found out, so I had to go zoom, right? And don't like.
Honestly,
No,
fail.
Yeah, no
I think
offense, one of those
that's
crazy
what-
conspiracy theorist people.
Yeah, no, she was though, and
Yeah.
oh man, no, you know what place is great? If y'all ever been to the melting pot,
Yes.
if you ever go to the melting pot,
No,
you
'cause
need
my
to.
parents refused to let me go.
You need to go-
They refused to take me,
If
so I never go.
quarantine, if
Oh, we all
we
need
ever
to go.
if quarantine ever ends, we need to go to the melting pot immediately because like
They have the deal 4 for 200, I think.
yeah,
Or
we
for
could split it.
200 for food.
It's a fondue
Yes.
place. It's expensive. That's how it is.
It's like a
Dude, fondue,
3 quart.
I'm not paying 200 for fondue.
Well, it will be split
It's
between
50.
us. First of all,
I am not paying 50 for fondue.
Will you pay 25 and I'll pay the 75?
I would feel incredibly guilty and bad, but probably yes.
okay.
So,
It's
like-
worth. I'd say it's worth it because the service is great.
One time.
It's totally worth it.
Like,
But also, like, there's this waitress there. Her name is Victoria. Shout out to you, girl. I hope you found this
Is
one.
it the one we know?
Is she the Irish? She's got an
Oh.
Irish accent.
I think I know who you're talking about.
She is the best waitress I've ever met. I remember I went there for my 21st birthday, and I specifically requested we be put in her section for that because I literally like I need to be in her section. She made me this plate like icing art that said Happy 21. Welcome to the
Yeah.
Big 21 or something.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I took
to
a
give-
picture of it. It's somewhere in my pictures. I don't
Yeah.
find it.
Well, to give you a picture of how extensive it is, the first course is like breads and like fruits
Cheese.
and stuff that goes into a cheese dip. And that's the first course. The second course is you order like six
salad.
or 8 different
Meats.
yeah, salads.
Well, the
but-
second meat is salad, yeah, and obviously that's
Yeah, but then you order like 6 to 8 different types of meats, and you get 2 different broths that are like extensive. They make the broth in front of you, and then like I think when
Oh, the
I went
dessert.
there,
I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna pop a bubble. I've never had fondue.
Wow.
no, that's fair. That's fair. I've only had it once.
I had never had it before. My parents
Dude,
go
my
for their anniversary every year.
My
and,
parents,
Mm.
there is a lot of foods we just don't eat. I just have never
Mhm.
eaten growing up, and it
I think
sucks.
you'd like it.
Yeah,
I think I
I
would
hope
like
I
it too
get-
if I had a chance.
yeah. Honestly, we should try it whenever the stupid quarantine. Just like one time. It's one of those things. Just to try it one time in your life to say you've done it.
I mean, sure.
Yeah. I think, and then the last course is the chocolate.
Oh gosh, did you get the yin yang chocolate?
That one's great. I do like that one, but we get the s'mores a lot, which is also
Yeah.
good. And but yeah, no, we have to. I hope she still works there because she is amazing,
man.
and she's just. We have to tip well too because she's a single mom, right? We gotta help out her. But she always tells these wild stories, and one of my favorite stories that she ever told me and my family when we went was she went on a date with, it was years ago, with this guy to like Carowinds or something like that. And it was at an amusement park, and they went on one of those roller coasters with the overhead locking,
thank
overhead
God.
locking restraints or whatever. And
only
hers
have, like,
came
one.
unlocked in the middle of the ride. And she had to like hold it closed until it got to the end. And then the guy went to unlock her thing and she was like, no need.
Oh,
With her
no.
hands up.
Okay,
And-
it's not the ride I was thinking of.
No.
Because if that was unlocked, she would have been flying.
And I know it came loose. And thankfully she was able to hold it closed. But
They only have like 3 rides that have over. Everything else
I
is
know.
half the ways, which I
it was so scary. I was laughing so hard because like it was just like the poor kid that ran the roller coaster was like,
Yeah, if you ever want to see me go into a full fuck.
Stutter.
Full, you know what? Look, fuck you.
I'm sorry.
If you ever want to see me go into a full-blown panic attack, not panic attack, sorry, paranoia attack, take me to a amusement park.
Do you
Like,
not do
I
good at
will
amusement
have-
parks?
No, I will have one instantly. If you try to get me onto a roller coaster, like, I just pick apart the roller coasters like this gonna happen, this gonna happen, this gonna happen, this gonna happen. Nope, not doing it. Goodbye. I'm gonna go eat a corn dog over here in the corner. Have
That's
fun
okay.
dying.
Some of the misfits. So years ago, for a school trip, in middle school, I believe 7th grade. Yes, Muse's parents were dicks and did not let her go for stupid reasons.
Okay, to be fair, it was valid because of my disabilities and
No,
roller
it
coasters.
wasn't.
Yes, roller coasters can actually cause harm to those who have disabilities.
they can.
Yeah, but Bookworm and Panda don't like roller coasters, so we went on
I'm not a
mix of
fan.
roller coasters and kiddie rides.
We went on one roller coaster and it was the one little baby roller coaster.
And it was the Ricochet. It was the Ricochet.
That
little
one was
Easy
fun
Baby
though.
one.
Okay.
Okay, that one's
That was
fun.
fun.
Dude, we
though.
didn't go on any serious roller coasters. That's what we told your parents, and your parents were like, "No, she's gonna get hurt." I was like, "Are you stupid?"
Do you remember when we were freshmen in high school and we went to Disney World for that festival, for the music festival? And your mom made them bring that stupid wheelchair. Do you remember that?
Yes, because I used it. Okay, I used it just to because the course teacher was like, just use it. It's here. Just use it. It's like, fine, I'll use it. We use it. The group I was with, I was assigned to 3 other
remember
people
this.
originally. We got
Yeah,
up to
I
the
don't think
first
I don't think
ride.
you were in my group, were you?
No, I wasn't assigned. No,
We
but
had- we
met
had
up
this-
with yours. Yeah.
We had the story, I remember.
Yeah,
I know
but
they've-
my group got to this first ride. I think it was called Space Mountain at Disney.
Yeah.
And we met up with your group, Panda, and we were all going to go in, but then one of my people was like, "Hey, let's stay in the chair, Muse. We can get to the front of the line because you're disabled."
Yeah,
And
they
it's like,
wanted to use it to their
no.
advantage.
I remember that. I remember being
Yeah,
really mad
that's-
about that because I was like, "What?"
Yeah, no. And then I get out of the chair. I'm like, "No, I am not doing this. I'm not that disabled." And they're like, "Oh, come on. Don't be a party pooper. Just do it." And it's like, you do it then. I'm not. I hate being seen as disabled. I'm not using it when I don't need it. And
Also,
so,
yeah, that's
I
not fair
hate
to the
people
people that
who do
really
that.
need to go to the front of the line as well.
yeah, no, I hate it. And so after the first ride, my group got so two of them got pissed at me. I think one
Who
of
else
them
was with you? Was
I
Race-
suggest you don't name them, or Wolf's gonna hunt them down.
Type it.
Yeah, type it. But I do remember this because I remember we went off and we have two friends. I had a friend at the time, Emma, and I had a friend.
I said you might not want to type it in because then Wolf's gonna track them down and maul
it's
them.
first
Yeah.
names. Wolf won't know.
It's just
that's-
first.
Wolf won't know. Trust me, Wolf doesn't. Wolf did not pay
No,
attention
Wolf
to most
wasn't
of the
there,
people.
so I doubt he would know anyway.
And also, most
remember
of the people in your
those two.
chorus group were dicks.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I didn't like
No,
No, she was in
hold on.
my group.
I-
That's right. That was her name.
I remember these three. Like those are the only ones that were sticking in my.
I thought wasn't Jordan in your group?
Maybe. I don't know.
pretty
I
sure
just
she was.
remember the first name and then one other went off because they were pissed at me for not using the wheelchair. And so they got pissed and left. And so
Yeah.
I was upset and you told me you and
It was Casey. Yeah. our
Yeah.
friend- my friend Casey.
yeah, you two told me to join you because of what happened, and like you guys were trying to make me feel better after that.
It
and
wasn't.
so,
You had no reason to be upset. First of all, it was not your fault. And like
Also,
that was so.
Yeah.
It was
your
completely
decision
disgusting.
Whether or not you need
So-
to, it's also your decision whether or not you need to have the wheelchair and use the wheelchair because you're the one
Yeah.
who. It's your wheelchair. It's your choice whether or not you use it, and you didn't
Or
want to
if you
use
need
it,
it,
so,
right.
Or if you need it, and since you said
Yeah.
no, you didn't need it, they shouldn't have said anything because it's not their wheelchair. They don't need it.
yeah,
Yeah.
so we took the wheelchair over to like the health facility where
I think you
when
wheeled
they-
me in the wheelchair. to
Yeah.
that facility.
I did. I pushed you in it over
because
there
you were
and
like,
they
I don't
held
want
it.
to sit in it, and
Yeah.
I don't want to push it empty. And I was like, okay, I'll just sit in it though.
Yeah,
Right.
so we dropped that off and then we go walking for like 10 hours. Mind you, this was a mistake on my end because I should have used it periodically, but
Yeah.
luckily you and the others were very understanding and like we took breaks.
Well,
At the same time, I was the one that kept pushing. No, let's keep going. Let's keep going. My feet don't hurt. My
but
legs
we were
don't hurt.
like, maybe we should take a break.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, 'cause-
you did that typical thing where you were like, no, I'm fine, and we're all just kind of like,
Like, but
No,
listen,
I'm fine. I'm not in pain.
like, yeah, I remember because I remember we split off from both of those girls because Emma was in our group and they got mad at her
Mhm.
for going to see a princess or something when the rest of us
Yeah,
stayed in
yeah.
line. And like, also, it was fine. Like, I remember we just were done with them after that, and we broke off from those two, and we ended up forming a group with my.
And we got permission from the teachers at the end of the day where it's like, hey, we did this. Like, we told them what happened. And they were like, okay, that's fine as long as you guys have someone.
It worked out better anyway because I was hoping you'd be in
Mm-hmm.
my group anyway because I would have accommodated for you from the start, and then
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah. The only annoying part was I still had to room with them. And oh my God, they gave me earlobe that night and wouldn't talk to me for the rest of the trip.
What did they say to you? Do you remember?
It was just like
So-
they just kept going on like why didn't you use your disabilities to an advantage? It's not that bad.
because
Just-
people use disabilities.
Because
to
that's
your
bad. That
advantage
is
as
bad.
good.
What did they say?
Yeah, no, but it's like come on.
People
You're
should
used to
never
it.
use
You
their
should be fine with
disabilities.
this.
people should never ever use their disabilities to their advantage. And most people with disabilities don't.
It's not even people with disabilities that do it. It's people that pretend to have disabilities to use something for their advantage. That's
Yeah, no, but the thing that made me the most upset is when they were telling me I should be used to this kind of treatment. It's fine. What am I getting so worked up about?
What the hell does that mean?
I hope these people never meet me because they won't like me.
That's so gross. That's such a gross thing to say.
Yeah, it's
so,
like, so you know how it is.
You came down to breakfast the next morning, and me and Casey were sitting there eating. Me, Casey, and Emma were sitting there eating, and you were like really upset, and we were all like, "Hey, what's up?" And
I went and sat off on my own at first. Like, I was just like trying to isolate myself at first, but you guys dragged me over.
What the heck? I'm not like...
Those girls better hope that I never meet them.
We had a much better time.
Oh yeah, like literally 2 hours into being at Disney, leaving them behind. All of a sudden, we're like happy as can be.
Because we were like, first of all, I remember my friend Casey being like, "What's wrong with these people?" Because like she didn't know you that well, I don't think, but like we'd been friends.
No, she didn't.
Yeah, she and I had known each other for a long. I mean, she was in orchestra with us. Yeah, like she like, she and I had known each other for a long time. We were good friends, and I remember her being, "What the hell's going on?" Like, and then Emma, who is just perpetually sweet.
Okay, I just love the last day we went to the Epcot or whatever, however you call it, and we went to like this one country within the center, and she was so obsessed with this soda. She bought 4 of these bottles of this Jamaica, I think is the name of the soda. And she got it for like $4 each for a bottle. And you can buy a bottle at Walmart 5 times the size of it for 99 cents.
No one said people were smart. I wonder if I met some. I'm gonna be honest. I wonder if I met some girls because so during lunch, because the band room was right next to the chorus room. So when these guys would go to chorus, I would go to band. So right before band, I would just go and hang out in the chorus room with them. And the chorus teacher was fine with it. She knew I would be there. I never caused any issues, so she was completely fine with me going in there. And I always got dirty looks from this one group of girls. I don't know why. I never did anything.
Oh, I know.
And one day, I don't know if y'all remember this, but one day I went in there and I remember, no, you guys weren't there. You guys were off doing something for chorus that was for the upper, or you guys were doing something. So you guys weren't there. And I remember I was there and I was just saying hi to someone. Also, Panda disappeared. Yeah. I bet her computer just had issues again. But
yep.
Yeah, I went there one day and I was just chatting with a friend of mine. And hey, Panda's back. But yeah, I went there, I was chatting with a friend of mine, and these girls were like, you can't be here. Like, wait till we tell the teacher. And I was like, oh, so you were there? Okay. Yeah, they were like, wait till we tell the teacher, wait till we tell the teacher.
I don't think I was there, but I know the story.
I told you all about it. Yeah. They were like, wait till we tell the teacher, you're going to get in trouble. I was like, she knows I'm here. It's fine for me to be here. She didn't want me to be here. Right. She would have said something, and I would not be here right now. So I kept ignoring them, but the person I was talking to was like, maybe we should, like, go outside of the room. Like, I hate that you're having all this trouble and stuff. I was like, just ignore them. What are they going to do? And they kept going at me like, oh, why are you still here? Like, I'm in charge when she's not here, and I say you can't be here.
Who was that?
I don't know who it was, but it was.
Oh, I know exactly. I know exactly.
Who was it then? You went, Put it in the chat. Wait.
I don't know her name, but I told you the description of the girl, and you were like, she's not in charge. She just likes to think she is. And I was like, yeah, that's why I didn't listen to her. And she got all pissy and stuff. I thought she was going to storm
Mm.
over to me and get in my face. But she just decided to keep sitting on her little chair and just,
Yeah.
nag and nitpick at me from her chair. And I just kind of ignored her. And I stayed in there until the bell. I stayed in there an extra 10 minutes. And for those 10 minutes, she was all, oh, why are you still here? You're going to get in so much. I'm going to tell her you're not supposed to be here. And I was just kind of like, I just kind of looked at her and went, meh.
Yeah, no,
And
I know who exactly you're talking about. Her and her posse. They
yeah, it was
were
her.
no,
That's the
no,
girl.
but yeah, yeah, no, it's her and her group of friends. They were known as the chorus teachers, like the teacher pets, like her favorites.
Oh, I could
Like
tell
they
they were
were
teacher
her.
pets. But I
Yeah,
point blank
no,
told her. I point blank told her. I was like, feel free to tell the teacher because I've
yeah,
talked to her before. She knows I'm here every single lunch. She's seen me. I'm a very noticeable person. She's seen me. I've had conversations with her before, and she's fine with me being here.
Right.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was like, if
no,
she
again,
wasn't, I wouldn't be in the room.
yeah, no, again, I I hated them because they criticize everyone, and it's like we know what the teacher wants, so you have to listen to us. Like they were so.
Dude, that's why I
I
didn't believe them when they were like, well, when she's away, I'm in charge. I was like, no, you're not.
She actually is.
Well, oh well,
She
I had
actually
permission from
was.
the teacher's word trumps hers. And the teacher point blank told me I was fine that I was there as long as I didn't cause trouble. And I
Yeah,
wasn't causing trouble. I went in there to say hi to a friend of mine or to a classmate
yeah,
of
Right.
mine. Like,
yeah. Yeah, no, she technically was in charge whenever the teacher was like busy or doing something, but yeah, no. Again, a lot of us got very annoyed with her because she acts like she is super sweet and like, oh, do you need some help and all this? But then, God,
oh please, I knew she
yeah.
wasn't sweet. I had her in my classes since 6th grade. I was able to size her up and judge her the moment I met her. I know they say don't judge people by people by their looks and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
but because of my social anxiety, I've learned to I always am able to look at a person and kind of tell who they are, what their personality is, because I'm always social anxiety. I'm very anxious. I'm always looking at people. So I
Now
knew
I'm
who she was
curious.
the moment
Yeah,
I met her.
honestly, same.
Now I'm curious as to what you thought about like us when you first saw us, like individually.
Okay, well, start naming him off. I want to hear this.
Yeah,
When I met you guys,
yeah.
You've
We
already,
met in
boy.
first grade, so like
I'll
I
say
mean,
I met
okay,
Panda in 1st grade. I don't
I don't
remember
think
that
that
far back.
I don't think that either one of us
okay. Can
remembers
you
that
do
very well.
Muse then?
Muse. Let's see. Panda introduced me to Muse. I actually remember that one. Muse. I remember just being shy, not very confident. No, I love you, dear. But
Oh no, I.
when I met you, you came across as just very shy, timid, like not very confident, like kind of a little wary of me.
Yep.
Not sure of me. And I kind of
Mm-hmm.
went. I have to be careful with this one because I don't want her to get pissed at me because Panda likes her, and I know
Right.
Panda.
Right.
I was
Then
like, I
comes
need to
seventh
be.
grade.
Well,
Okay, and now,
life
all
starts.
right. And now for the wild card, me.
Yeah, shit,
'Cause
gosh.
we never had a class together.
We never had a class together. Nope. I only met you when they brought you to our cafeteria table in the morning.
Yeah, so now I'm curious.
Gosh, when I met you,
'Cause
honestly,
you didn't have much to go off of because we never had a class.
when I met you, I thought you were just very. I knew you were quiet because literally I'd never heard you say more than a few words in within the first week of us meeting. I rarely
That
heard
would
you
be
speak.
that would be
Um,
that
But I
that
also
meant
thought at the time, that you didn't care about what conversations were going on around you.
I mean, I think mostly that was that mental block I have.
I know. I remember
Of
just thinking,
now.
this guy could care less that he's around us right now. He's just this quiet guy that really could care less about.
That just got dragged over here and is just sitting.
I know. I was like, I feel bad. He's been dragged over here, and I'm not saying that you seem standoffish because you're quiet, but you had that observant nature that I had. So I'll admit, when I met you, I was a little not on guard,
Wary.
but a little wary.
I mean, that may have been a combination of, again, that the mental block where, like, when everyone's talking, I can't. Like, I physically cannot.
That's understandable.
And
Sensory
my
overload.
and my paranoia, which, since this is kind of a miscellaneous podcast, I do want to get into, because I think I have an idea of where that started.
Be my guest. Go into it.
So
Here's my intro to your segment.
What?
what?
That is my intro to your That is my intro to your segment about your paranoia. Go on. Talk. Preach.
You?
So I think. Hang on. I think it started in. Take one wild guess. Where do you think it started? Well, it's the one place I say that will always
Elementary
be
school.
a place of bad. Where did I go? What state did
Yeehaw.
I go to elementary school in?
Texas.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Oh, yeah, you said that.
Yes, Texas is my trauma state, and it always will be. So I was in the second grade. It was like the few final weeks of school. We had like this memory book. It was kind of like a yearbook, but like we made it. There was like pictures of our classmates. You could like write some sort of message in under their names, and there was this girl that I liked. This girl was kind of autistic, so she always had a student helping her, and I just put down, "I like you," and then then the student that was helping her, like they were standing behind a bookcase, and the student asked, "Do you like her?" And she was like, "No." Like, it's that like talking behind my back thing that I
Right.
hated, and it just that I think that's the foundation of my paranoia.
Mm.
And that's also why I think around strangers, I'm, like Wolf said, like really observant and, well, quiet, just because I can't talk when the other people are talking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I get quiet so I can observe people. But
I
you
get
seemed
quiet
like
because go ahead.
yeah, you seemed like you were quiet for another reason. Like you were prepared for something to happen.
Yeah, I was waiting for one of you to stab me in the back.
We would never
Oh.
do something like that.
I would never do
Again, I didn't know you guys. I didn't know you guys.
And
No,
I
that's
met
fair.
Muse. I knew we were gonna be friends.
Didn't we meet in
Girl Scouts, yeah.
Yeah.
We were in 8 or something like that.
Oh god.
I said,
yeah.
this bitch gonna be my friend.
Yeah, no, for me, I like y'all think I made friends, but I was so shy and like Wolf
Hey,
said,
Girl
very
Scouts sucked.
timid.
Don't feel bad.
Yeah, no, but just like in general, since preschool, I've always been very shy and like very timid, just because I've been bullied my whole life. So I'm like, okay, who's
Right.
next? Who's next? Let's see. You threw a
Right.
block on my head. You insulted me. You pushed me down. Okay, who's next?
Right.
So I I still struggle with trusting people just because I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, which one's leaving?
People
Which
always
one's
talk about
stabbing
how
me?
like being bullied in high school builds character. Really, it just caused me an anxiety disorder. Thanks.
Depression.
Being bullied in elementary
It
school,
didn't do
middle
anything but
school
give me
just
an anxiety
gave me
disorder.
a social anxiety disorder, and then I got bullied by students and teachers. I was told,
I got bullied by
Oh God,
I was
yeah.
told point blank by numerous teachers that no one would like me unless I shut my mouth and tried to change to be more likable. I was point blank told that by a few teachers, and I was like, seriously? They were like, because of my emotional detachment disorder, I would come off as cold and kind of a little mean, and I didn't mean it. Those who really knew me knew that I didn't mean it.
When I first met you, I did not know that. Like, 6th grade was like, okay, you seem pretty cool. 7th grade, a fight, didn't talk for 3 months till bookworm brought us back, and then it's like, okay, let's try this again. 8th grade, you really helped me out. 7th grade, you helped me out as well. And then high school, it's like, hi, I'm a new person.
Well,
I feel.
again, but yeah. So yeah, I got bullied a lot because people just didn't understand. Unfortunately.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah, no. Like, the stupid saying that we were taught, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me.
lies.
Bitch, please, switch it.
Lies.
Switch it.
Sticks and
Just
stones will
switch
break your
it.
bones, but words will hurt you deeper.
But words will cause an anxiety disorder.
Yeah, no, it's like, sure, I get a bruise from these, but I get scars from these.
Yeah, right.
I'll say, yeah, sticks and stones might break your bones, but words will cut you deeper than any knife.
That's why
Yeah.
I say that's why I would say whenever I actually have to attack someone, I would attack them with walls.
Yeah, no, when I was in 1st grade, I attacked physically at a couple points where I threw punches just because I would, like, 1st grade, I was on my teacher's, like, she hated me so much because of that. And all of a sudden, my 2nd grade teacher is, like, telling my mom, your daughter is the sweetest person can be. She never gets in trouble. She's always so helpful. My mom was like,
Hey, a fun fact.
which daughter?
I learned about this. Pleasure to have in class was code for gay. If your teacher ever said you're a pleasure to have in class, you're gay now.
That explains so many things.
Am I wrong?
You are not wrong. All of us have been told it's a pleasure to be in class, and we are
all four
gay.
of us on this podcast are an example of pleasure to have in class means gay.
Yes.
Hey, Wolf, how long have we been going?
Almost an hour and a half.
We have been going for an hour and 23 minutes.
Yeah, pretty close to it.
There
Okay.
was this one English teacher, well, like, she really liked me. It was in sophomore English. I was all like, we typically had like a English tome Jeopardy. I smoked everyone in that class. Like typically whatever group wins gets like 5 extra points on their test. I always got those 5 points.
Okay, I wish I was in a class with you and was able to be on a damn team with you.
Yeah, like
Jesus.
I remember this one time when like teacher threw it up on the board, and like she wasn't even done reading it. I was like, one kid actually got really mad at me for it. I was like, dude, chill.
My teachers used to get mad at me only because I kept constantly, because I was quiet, I would always just get put in a random group of people. Because I didn't know anyone. I knew people in the class, but it was like, it wasn't any friends. so it was nobody I actually really wanted to go in group with for group work. And teachers used to get mad at me because I would just be like, I'm going to do this by myself. Or if my group mates were idiots and did the project wrong, I would do the project right and turn it in separately and be like, give me my points for this. Like, they did wrong. They didn't listen to me when I told them it was wrong. Because I would tell them, I'm like, this is not what we're supposed to do. And they'd be like, well, you're outnumbered 3-1. I'm like, well, that's not how this works, but okay. So I would do the project separately. And so, yeah. My biggest issue with teachers were they were like, you don't work well in groups. And I was like, groups don't work well with me.
Same.
I was like, flip that sentence. It's the other way around. Groups don't work well with me. It's not that I don't work well with groups. They just don't work well with me.
Yeah, I always try in groups. I could never like, can I be in a group with you? I always like was sitting there till teacher was like, here, go in this group. And
I never would make that first move. I would just sit there until I was told where to go.
I remember in psychology, there was this girl. She was a bit old. I was the only sophomore in my psychology class. And there was this girl. She was older than me by quite a bit. Her name was Paula. And she and I had this unspoken agreement to just always pair with each other. Because we always... we were the ones that always did our work.
Dude, when
then there was the one guy, Jonathan or something. He was nice.
Mm-hmm.
But Angela she was my. There we go.
When I was in 10th grade for my history class, it was me and this one other kid. We had the best grades in the class. We were like the 2 smartest kids in the class, and we had an unspoken agreement that whenever there was a project or something where you had to pair up with partners, it would be us. The 2 smartest kids in the class would pair up together. And he was super cool. I remember him, like, those memories fondly. He was a super nice guy. Honestly, I am kind of a little sad I fell out of touch with him, but he switched schools the next year because his family moved, which sucked.
Think about it. Who the hell did get me into the group? Was it Alien?
I'm pretty sure Alien dragged you over to us.
Yeah, Alien dragged you over. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, I just want to say, in senior year, when I had English with Shirda, I made it an effort to make sure I was paired up with you every time. Because I did not want to.
Because I was an English note?
No, I didn't. Okay, even though you and the teacher both teased me all the time, I'd rather have worked with you because I knew you. I suck at, like, trying to work with someone that I don't know. Even if they are trying to be kind, and it's like, oh, it's okay, come on, join us. It's like, no, don't make me.
Honestly, that's me in any class I don't know anyone in.
Yeah.
I think I used to sit, like, near the door, but then, like, as time progressed, I ended up with you towards the window. Was it at the beginning of class and I saw you were sitting in the door and just beeline to you? I forget.
I think because in the very, very, like, first day of class, I was assigned to the very back, and I was in, like, an in corner seat, and so at the end of class, I went up and said, hey, I can't do this. This is physically difficult for me, and also, I can't hear. And so he moved me up beside you, because you were already sitting over there. You were sitting right beside his desk.
I could have sworn I was sitting closer to the door.
No, I remember being put beside you.
Okay. I think it was because of my accommodations that I was sitting next to his desk. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, you... Wait, was that an off podcast or was it... I forget which... Oh, wait, no, I was doing an AOC recording. Why?
During an Age of Calamity recording.
Yeah, I was... oh, you would have enjoyed that, Panda.
Oh, yeah. Alright, I think we should probably wrap it up.
We can go ahead and wrap it up now.
This is a fun one.
What did we start talking about real quick?
I don't remember.
We were talking about
but it's fine.
Panda's work.
But
Panda's work.
I think
they
we
got
Right.
more coins.
but so remember, kids, if anyone ever told you you were a pleasure to have in class,
You're
now
gay.
you're gay.
That's basically how that works.
Have a good night.